59J, neck on 9. Let's go. Yeah.
I'm sideways in a bucket ducking 5-0. Homie, are you down the ride? Rims spinning, windows tinted and my eyes low.
Hey, yo, what's good with everybody, man? I hope everybody's having a productive day, feeling blessed. And like I always say, it's one life, one chance. We only got one chance to do this right. Let's get it done. So with that being said, man, I got some interesting topics, man. People been throwing my way. A very funny one that I'm about to do next right after this video. So I do videos I'll do like 3 or 4 videos, record on different subjects, different topics people talk about. Then I edit them all, then I line them up. Got you guys, man, anytime. Subscriber asked me a good question, so let's get into it. With that being said, hit that subscribe button, hit that like, always leave a comment. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Check the links in the description for my Apple and Spotify music. Go ahead and run my streams up. And you can check out my playlist section on my YouTube channel and check out my music right there. Thank you guys for you guys' time. Most importantly, thank you guys for you guys' support. Now, the subscriber asked me this. It was a good one too, man, because I thought about some scenarios, and I'm pretty sure any other prison channel can tell you about other experiences. It could be done in many ways and many fashions. How do you manipulate a guard in order to get to do a removal or hit a primary target? So I told you guys a long time ago, I know I have new subscribers, but I did a removal on a 270 design. It was with local man from Merced, right? Some of y'all are familiar with the story. So when we did the removal, the best time to do a removal is you're gonna have your appointed or assigned staff that work your building all the time. You know, that's their primary schedule. But the perfect time to get over on a staff member is when you get like these substitutes, when somebody fills in for their position, whether they had to go do a different shift, had to go to a meeting, are on all their days off. When we see staff that don't normally work the building, don't know how the building operates, don't know inmates, don't know the corruption within the building, because a prison guard that's worked a building for like 5 or 6 years, he's familiar with all the inmates. He's familiar with who does what. He's familiar with who runs the yard, who runs the building, where the drugs are at. They know all this stuff. A lot of stuff it doesn't bypass them. They just look past it. Like, man, they don't care. They're in their office. As long as they ain't got to stop a fight, whatever you do and get away with it, go ahead, do it. So for local man, they were running the yard. It was yard. There was yard at the time when he was out there on the yard. And they began running Muslim services. And the tower cop was a newbie, just been barely hired on 2 years maybe. He hasn't worked our building. So he wasn't looking at the Muslim list. So when somebody came up to me to my door and was like, hey, man, you know, local man's outside, bro. Like, and they're running Muslim services, man. Get your door popped. So all he did was smack the top of my door and told him, hey, man, Muslim services. And the dude on the tower cop just pressed the button. Next thing you know, 5 of us go out there and jump one dude. Break his leg, break his nose, split his eyebrow, and we catch a charge. So for 270 designs, if it's a level 4, it's different. You know, all the doors, they open up around certain times like pill calls. But the one thing that I've seen inmates get away with a lot, and it's very easy, you just gotta either time it right or just, you know, you just keep doing it until it's done. But it's an effective strategy that's always used. Medical slips. You want to down somebody? Get his name and CDCR off his door. Have a porter give it to you if he's in another building. I've seen this method used so much, and it's worked. You put in the medical slip, they always release you in the morning. So you got from 8 o'clock in the morning to about 11:30 when yard gets recalled and you go back to your cell. You have that amount of time for that individual to walk out that door. Because if you put in a medical slip that night before, he's going to get called first thing in the morning. Majority of the time. Now, it just all depends on what hours he goes. They might not run yard. He might make it a medical. You could try it again the next time. So after they do the 11:30 and you do yard recall, they usually stop medical moves until count time is done. And from count time at 12 o'clock, you got from 12 to 12:30. That's count time. And then from 12:30 to 1, you got a 30-minute window for them to call them up. But most of the time, they're going to call them at 1 o'clock. You know, everybody's eating their lunch. Nurses are eating their lunch. Then the next yard will come out. So if he's a primary target that's on site, the way we did it in Tehachapi and in Kern Valley, obviously the next yard is going to come out. Whatever gang you're associated with is right there. Know about his status. They're going to watch and see him because everybody on the yard is wearing yard clothing. Here he comes out in all blues. and then you just run up the hill, go beat them, stab them, pack them out, do whatever it is you got to do. But that was the most effective one that I've ever seen. When the 2 fivers and the Zapatistas went to war in SAT-FD yard, you know, the first initial contact, everybody went on lockdown. But they were just doing regular medical. They weren't escorting us with chains or nothing, no waistbands or nothing. And this was around maybe 2012, almost 2013, the end of 2012. So this was probably one of the big wars between STG groups where they weren't throwing us in gang meetings and on gang yards and making us fight each other out so we didn't disrupt the program. They weren't locking us down and doing, you know, medical escorts and chains at the time. Because afterwards, maybe 2 years later, when they started seeing all the STG groups on the SNY go to war with one another, they started handcuffing us. Like, say they'll lock down all the riders and all the 2 fivers, and then they'll do medicals with handcuffs. But even then, if you weren't validated as an STG member on the SNY, you could be out there on yard, you're clicked up, catch this fool slipping and going to medical, and you can book him right there with his waist chains on in front of a cop. Most of the time, the cop's gonna, if he doesn't get in front of you, he's gonna back up and pull out his baton and try to spray you. But by that time, you mauling him for like 10, 15 seconds and you're getting sprayed and beat. Doesn't really do much. It's not that effective. So we go on lockdown. Everybody even on the main line, you put in for medical slips because nobody denies medical slips. And even if the dude didn't put in a medical slip, man, you don't know what it is, man. You think it's like an annual checkup. It might be some TB testing. It might be checking out some flu. That's the thing about inmates. We all know the common practice, but say if they open up your door and they're like, hey, man, you want to go to medical? Hell yeah, because some inmates look at it like this. Well, I can get out of the cell. I can sneak out to yard. I can go look for some dope. Yeah, some dope. They're going to try to find a way to finesse, but most of the time it's just somebody wants to get out of the cell, give his cellie some alone time, some boogie down time, some, you know what I mean, his little boneyard visit. So most of the time, if you get your door popped and say, hey, get ready for medical, you're going to go to medical. Now, if you know you're a primary target, you can refuse it. But most of the time, like I said, I've seen so many people that were on site don't even know they're on site by the STG groups on the SNY. I'm just speaking from the SNYs because that was like my last experience. They'll just go. And they'll go over there and be like, man, what's up, man? How you doing? They have like their own little parade right there. Hey, what's going on? Pop, 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 pop. Hey, what the pop, 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 pop. And it happens. It's real easy. But the cool part about it is just getting his information. If he's in a building where no STG groups are in there, most of the time there's an STG group member in every building. So if none of your group is in there, you can ask a 2-5 or our independent rider or Zapatista, hey, man, can you do me a favor, bro? Por favor. Hey, here's this dude's name, his nickname, and where he's from. Can you find out what cell he's in, man, and get his name and CDC and shoot it to me? And we work together like that because obviously we're promoting and condoning violence and we want to see if removal happen. You know what I mean? But they'll send it to another individual in the cell and he puts the medical slip in. You just got to time it right. You got to know what day you're going to go to yard. And that's the night before you put it in and just hope and pray that he makes it out. That was one of the probably the most easiest ones you can do. And I have stories and I have pictures. I just got to figure out how to blur it out just a little bit. His wounds. But that's how it was done. We kept putting medical forms in this dude. And dude was going. But he was just going at the wrong times when nobody was around and nobody noticed him until they finally got him. When I went to ER, level 3, pending transfer to Kern Valley for going at it with the independent riders. I got put on there for 8 months. Opened up a big pipeline, cell phones, dope, you name it. Right there, every hour on a level 3, they open up your door like a 5-10 minute window. So they crack all the doors. All your doors are open. And I showed up there. Worm was there. Negro was there. Tino from San Jose. Mikeo from Fresno. And there was like a couple other people. We had to clean up house because I came with the CCOs. I just got on the phone with Snoop. He was teaching me to clean the yard up, that they were lacking contact. They were lacking organization. Went over there, started pinpointing who was a rider and who wasn't. Every hour on the hour, that door's going to open. Your door's going to open. You can shut it if you want, if you're inside the cell and you're doing your nasty stuff. If not, you can come from the yard, go in your cell, go grab something, come back out, go back to the yard or kick it into the day room, go take a shower. Cops, all they do is open up the doors and just go to the front window and look at the yard, because what they're doing is they're watching all the inmates come in from yard and get released to yard. So they're not watching what's going on in the building. So when them doors popped open, hey, bro, hey, make sure you're standing at that fool's door, man, and just tell him we're going to give him something. We're going to bring him like some food, some canteen, some hygiene, and just keep that victim at his door. And then we show up 3 or 4 deep, run up in there, beat him up bad. Beat him up bad. And if you accidentally shut the door, which is not even a problem, you could just tell a tower cop, hey, man, can you tell somebody to get the door open? Tower cop's going to open it and walk away, because he's not going to sit there and assume that some dude's getting scraped 5 deep and getting thrown underneath his bunk. And when the CO ain't looking, door gets open, all 5 of us come out, slam the door on that fool, leave him there. The thing about the level 4 270 designs is that the one thing, the best opportunity, because I got into a lot of cell fights with a couple of 2-5ers, a couple of dudes that I was burning for dope and stuff like that. Yeah, I went through a bad phase. Is during pill call, they open up everybody's door that's on the pill call line. But you know how easy it is for them to say, hey, man, he needs to go to medical. He needs to grab a medical slip and talk to the doctor. Some cops kind of know, and they'll be like, nah, I ain't open up his door. You could bring him a medical form. But there's that 50-50 chance for that one CO's like, all right, man, hey, don't be going around doing nothing stupid, man. Nah, I got you, man. A lot of inmates do it on the SNY just so they can go for a quick little walk, kick it with their homies. 2-5ers just do it all the time so they can go out there. Because you can walk slow as hell to the pill call line and slow back. So a 5-minute pill call walk front and back, and you can drag it out for like 30 minutes, 40 minutes. And then most of the time inmates do that. So when they come back from pill call, day room's still going to like 8:30. They can just like, oh, tower cop ain't looking, I'm going to chill in the day room practicing on the phone. There's easy ways to get around it because the COs can't monitor every inmate. 3 COs in a building, you got 2 in the office, and you got 1 in the tower. They can't keep their eye on 150 inmates, 200, 300 inmates, all bottom tiers out for day room, but you got top tier inmates sneaking out to medical. So when those medical doors open, you know, all the doors get open. Hey, man, somebody's standing right there. And you can just go over there, boom, 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 go in the cell, beat him up, get your little 20 seconds in. CO ain't looking. Poster says it's clear. Walk out, go right back to your cell. That dude's left right there, bloody as hell, cleaning up his own mess. That's another way to get over on the staff. But then you got situations like Tehachapi, where we were at, where one of the COs, he was pretty much just corrupt. You could pretty much ask him to open the door and beat somebody else. Oh, here's another one, right? This one was a trip. I seen this done in Tehachapi like my first year and a half there. So sometimes you can get a phone call. Say you sign up for the phone, and it's your time, it's your slot, and you just got it bad for this dude. And you're like, man, I'm gonna beat the crap at this fool. Woo, 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 woo. You can literally go out there to the tower cop and be like, hey, man, can you do me a favor, man? Can you give my phone call to such and such right there? Yeah, sure, no problem. And just drag it out, just manipulate it. Like, all right, well, he's gonna give me something real quick. And they'll be like, hey, go ahead and pick it up. And you're just walking over there, door pops open, dude's coming out thinking you gave him his phone call, but he doesn't know in the back of your head you woke up on the wrong side of the bunk or on the wrong side of your celly, whatever the case may be, and just start whooping them. Whooping them. Start slicing them up. Yeah, you're going to burn it because that cop ain't going to do that for nobody else again. But you can always find that 1 or 2 cops that just don't care. They're just there to do their job. They're not trying to do any extra material, any extra duties. And some cops are just lenient. Some cops are hella cool where they're just like, hey, man, can I go to the cell and pick up a bag of canteen? Be like, sure, go ahead. And he pops the door open, get the bag of canteen. They do a lot of favors for inmates when the program's at peace, when no inmates are riding people up or 602ing people or going at it with the cops. The cops have been in these buildings for so long, they're comfortable, just like us. The only thing is when they get comfortable, we find reasons to take advantage of it. We'll find reasons to steal from them. We'll find reasons to assault other inmates. Last one, and I'm just giving you some that I can remember off the top of my dome. I'm pretty sure a lot of prison channels can say the same thing. There was this one time, the tower cop let C-section out for day room, so we're out there. And I already knew these 2-5ers are going to beat on one of their homies. They're going to strip them underneath the stairs. So we all came out, but we try not to make it look obvious, but we're kind of getting close to the wall because, you know, they start dumping with them balls. We're in a little close quarter area. Ball's going to bounce around and hit a couple more people. You know, that ricochet does hurt, man, if you get hit in the butt cheek or in the thigh. Oh, when you get hit in the thigh, man, that weld, that bruise. So they see a porter in and out of the rotunda area going back and forth, back and forth. And they call him and they were like, "Hey, fool, whenever you go to A section, go to A section right now and talk to the tower cop. Like, get him to go over there just for a little bit. Just keep him there, stall him out." The dude already knew what time it was, man. You don't have to tell nobody the whole full story. Like, "Hey, bro, we about to beat the brakes off this boy. We about to park this dude, man. So go over there and do that." Dude goes, they're waiting. They're just right there, like looking at the victim. The victim's on the wall, just like mine. Like I think he looked like he was dazed. Like he was just like in the zone, fool. Like he was in a different world. He's probably off some psychedelic pills or whatever they're called. Well, they see the tower cop go to A section. Because remember, while we're in day room, he's going to be running phone calls for B section and A section too. So he's going to be a little distracted. You got little moments. You got little windows of opportunity. You just got to pay attention to the windows and figure, hey, man, if your window's like 10, 50 seconds, you got 10, 50 seconds to poke this fool in the face like 5, 7 times or hit him in the neck, make him leak. So look, since you're already going to catch a case, might as well get him all in the neck, in the face, and the eyeballs, and then just get rid of the weapons. And if they catch you, they catch you. So that dude, the porter calls the tower cop to A section. They had somebody, I can't remember who it was, man. I think his name was, he was from Rolling Crips. I don't know if it was the 40s or the 60s, but I know he talked about Nipsey a lot. So he was sitting like halfway up the stairs, but he was a big boy. He was tall, so he was able to see through the tower and see the cop go to the A section. And he just gave the nod, like, yeah. And they just started scraping him. It was a boo-boo fight. Like, dude didn't even fall. Dude put up a fight. They couldn't get him off his feet, so they did what they had to do. The only problem is they didn't stop, but they got 30, 40 seconds on this dude. Still couldn't get him off his feet. And when the tower cop came, pressed the button, they laid it down before the tower cop started shooting. Cops came, day room recall, and I lost my phone call because my phone call was like at 8:25, I think. So there's little ways to do removals. I seen individuals coming out of medical that were trying to blast somebody in A section. They would come out for medical and all the time, or for education, and they always walk to A section and see if they just catch the dude on the phone or catch the dude coming out the shower during shower time, or see if dude's on the tier or something. You can if you really want to get to somebody, you can get past the staff. Sometimes you don't need to manipulate the staff or get to the staff, because eventually you're going to find an opportunity to see them somewhere or some fashion. But the best one in my eyes is the medical forms, because nobody wants to stay in their cell. Anybody looks at it like, man, I can go to medical, I can sneak out to yard, I can go get some candy. Oh, that's another thing. That's what makes the medical slip a lot of effective, should I say, a lot of effective. It's because sometimes you can literally go up there with your canteen slip if you're able to sneak out on yard, and as long as you submit your canteen slip and they get to you, you get your canteen. Even though but you're gonna have a hard time when you bring it back to the building. The cops like, hey man, we let you out for medical. How'd you get your canteen? Oh, come on, bro, please, bro, let me keep it. And then the CO be like, well, what you got in there, man? You got nutty bars, you got some honey buns. Let me get like 2 sodas and a honey bun and a bag of chips, man. You can walk in with your bag. They'll let you get over if you can get it done. But that's the reason why a lot of inmates go out there, because most of the time they're trying to sneak out to yard, get in that canteen line, because sometimes the yard goes down whenever it does, and half the people on the yard ain't even getting their canteen. So this dude's trying to slip into the cracks and, get a little bit extra food to take back to his house. Those are the ones that I could tell you about. So I hope I answered your question to the best of my ability. I'm pretty sure if other people see this that have been in prison before, can maybe do follow-up videos for you guys, help me out a little bit, because these are some of the scenarios. I really have to sit down and think about it a little bit more, like, which ones work? Well, most of the time, you just catch a fool at yard, and you just catch them on yard. When you get lucky, you get lucky. So, with that being said, like I always say, it's one life, one chance. We only got one chance to do this right, is get it done. Peace.